What's going on, you guys? Your boy Lone Wolf, and welcome back to another Shenmue review episode. Yo, I just finished watching episode 5, and I have to say it was really impressive. Really impressive. Um, with if y'all like if y'all like these type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share the video. And without further ado, cue the intro. Alright, so we pick up where we left off on episode 4 of Shenmue, the anime, where Ryo and Guanzhong are fighting against each other, basically trying to put on a show just to pretend that they're actually trying to go on their deal. And Ryo basically finally tells Guanzhong that it's a trap and that he has to pretend that they actually knocked each other out, which is the swallow dive kick, and then pretty much they're both knocked out. The number 17 number that Ryo carved down last episode message was meant for Goro to let him know that there's an emergency. Goro got the message and went to the Mad Angel's warehouse, and that's when he pretty much finds Nozomi trapped and captured by two thugs, and pretty much he goes up to ask Mai for help, and they pretty much decide to go help Nozomi and Ryo, and then also Mai pretty much finds a way to try to go save Nozomi, but Mark pretty much interferes and pretty much tells them that what you guys are doing, and after that find out that Ryo's in danger and trying to save their friend Nozomi. And Mark was telling him that I'll take care of the forklift because you guys don't know how to use the forklift. So back to the battle between Guanzhong and Ryo. Ryo and Guanzhong were pretty much knocked out. And while that's going on, Mark pretty much bashed through the door and trapped the two thugs, and then he managed to save Nozomi. As they were trying to escape, they all saw Ryo and Guanzhong on the floor, and as Terry tells other guys to go try to kill them, one of the thugs was trying to grab the bat and try to smash their heads in. Of course, Ryo wakes up. He escapes. Ryo and Guanzhong pretty much escapes, and they dodge the attack. And then after that, that's when they realized, everyone was like, wait, there was a trap. They already know. So they were just playing the game as well. So after that, that's when the battle between I think it was you could call it the 100-man brawl, I guess, or 50 men that they fought against. But they fought a crowd of dudes. They're joining forces while Ryo told Goro and the rest of the gang to escape. But then after pretty much they escaped, Nozomi was worried about Ryo. She worried about her for leaving him behind. So Mark tells them that we should go back so we can save them. Nozomi was actually happy, which pretty much there was no point of them going back because Ryo and Guanzhong are pretty much fine. There was no issues. They took them all down. And then that's when Terry was left. That's when Terry was the only one left standing. And Guanzhong saying he'll take care of it. And, Guanzhong and Terry were fighting. Of course, Terry did not stand a chance against Wang Zhang. Ryo tries to intervene because Terry picked up a bat trying to fight dirty, but of course, that was kind of different because in the game it's a QTE where or it wasn't a QTE. I don't think it's a QTE, but it's a scene where Ryo grabs the bat in the game and tells him fight fair, instead of fighting dirty because Terry's like getting his ass whooped. So after fight, so pretty much this didn't happen in the anime. So that's the only difference, that this did not happen. Wang Zhang fought against Terry with the bat and everything, and he pretty much defeated him with no efforts at all. So after they defeat Terry, Guangzhong was asking Ryo, "Are you going to continue further down your journey?" And Ryo says that he's not going to give up, which we already expected that's going to happen. He already told him, "Yes, I am going to leave and chase after Land D." That's about it. And then the game pretty much went to go see Ryo, see if he saw that he was okay, and Ryo was happy to see that Nozomi was fine. And so is Nozomi. Obviously, this was a scene. The scene that was supposed. One thing we did not see was the scene where Ryo and Nozomi have this kind of romantic night with each other. I mean, they had the motorcycle scene when Ryo drives Nozomi home in the motorcycle, and they played that little love song, romantic song, and so forth. But there was a scene in the game where they both were sitting in the park, and Nozomi was admitting her feelings for Ryo. But Ryo is so focused on vengeance and trying to find out the proof of the death of his father. He cannot. There's no room for him to have romantic feelings, so which is completely understandable, but also kind of sad, But hey, it is what it is. A man has to go on his journey. Or as a warrior. He's a martial artist. So, some days passed. Of course, in the game, you have to make as much. In the game, you gotta make all the money and stuff like that. Make enough money to get the ticket for Hong Kong. And after that, so basically, that's what's happening right now. Made enough money. Of course, in the game, you make the jobs and stuff like that. And after that, he makes enough money, and then he pretty much puts his week or his day notice, that he has to move on, And he tells about Mark, and pretty much everybody else, And also, you have a little emotional time with Ine and Andos and Foxon, and also Nozomi, where she actually cried to see him go, Of course, she wants him to stay, but once he sets his Ryo, he's just like me. When he sets his mind on something, you just keep on going. It doesn't matter, man. You gotta go where you gotta go. So, So after that emotional time, Ryo meets up with Guangzhong. They already set up his boat and ship to go to Hong Kong, and then pretty much Guangzhong was about to go with Ryo. So to Hong Kong, so that way they could investigate with the trio men. But Chai comes in and interrupts, diving swallow style. That's right. So Chai pretty much interrupts. Chai takes the Phoenix mirror from Ryo, but during that time, Chai knocks over a bunch of construction items and pretty much sprained and broke injured Guangzhong's leg, so pretty much preventing him to come along, And Ryo, we have this, second match against Ryo and Chai, and pretty much Ryo wins, and it was a nice move that he did. He used the swallow dive move, So that's going to be so that was crazy, Seeing that was pretty interesting, pretty interesting, And then after that, They said their goodbyes. Guangzhou can't come with Ryo, and Ryo tells him that stay with your father. Because obviously, he lost his father, so it's kind of like don't want to see that happening. You know. So yeah, and then we get to see Ryo go to second. Ryo going to the Hong Kong, so that's gonna be really interesting. And that's when Shenmue 2 begins, guys. So Shenmue 2 begins next week on the next episode, which I cannot wait to see because Shenmue 2, with that one, it got a lot better. That's when we start to see Li Xiaotao, who is also real name as Xingyu Zhuyin, and we get to see Yanda Zhu, and we get to see Ren of Heavens. We get to see Joy, her beautiful self, and we get to see Wong, the kid. So it's going to be really interesting. We're going to see a lot of familiar faces from the Shenmue 2. And also, Ryo's going to meet the old man and also the old lady. So he's the old man he learns the iron palm from, and the other girl, and also the old lady who is the landlord. So this is going to be really interesting. But I'm not going to say anything more. All that's going to be revealed once we get to Hong Kong next week. Yeah, that's it. My score for this episode is definitely a 7.5. Definitely a really good episode. Very impressive.